Not magic. Yeah, we can make things float. Make something appear out of absolutely nothing. But even the greatest magicians worked at that trick. It's not magic. It's organic. From the curl in our hair to the tip of our toes, the sway of our hips and the joy of our smile. We give our blood, sweat, and tears to be our very best. Even when the world tells us it's never going to be enough.
Catsuit causes controversy.
No, please. This is our time.
We got that thing. That hooping, soccer playing, game changing, oh so resilient, double A outing, butterfly stroking thing. We worked for all this.
Always been a catalyst for change.
You thought history just made itself? Nah, baby, this ain't magic. This is the real thing.
You know, brothers, in these last days, there's going to be a concerted effort to really, really heighten the level of women empowerment and, women exaltation, because we living in these days where it's prophesied that we would see this, where women are exalting themselves high, they're haughty, they're prideful with their heads up high, things of that nature. And it's all going into the fact that the Bible confirms itself. When you see all these wicked ass commercials like what they promote with Nike, where you see the woman throwing up the Manu Carnuto, you see this overweight women where they trying to promote this whole, even if a woman is overweight, she's still beautiful and healthy and things of that nature. Not to say that the woman ain't beautiful if she's overweight, but they try to justify the aspect of you being lazy and not eating and things of that nature. Like, certain things in which women cry about as far as, body shaming and this and that. They put all this stuff in the commercial, as well as, Black trans lives matter. The woman saying that they can make things appear out of nowhere. All this bullshit. Men come together with a woman, they make a child. That's just science. That's just factual. That's just a reality. There's no case of a woman delivering a child on her own. There's no case at all. And if you don't understand the Bible and you believe that there was a Virgin Mary, then your ass needs to fucking go under a rock somewhere and stay there. But like I said, man, the woman, well, I haven't said it. I said it before, but the woman is a child, man. The woman is a child. And it's easy to implant her mind with bullshit and put a battery in her back. That's why you see what you see with these commercials. It's like, other than the fact that we understand that it's prophesied in regards to what we would see in these days, as far as the women and the children and things of that nature, the structure of the world. Other than that, what's the reason to promote this shit? Like, what's the reason to? You know what I mean? If anything, you should promote male empowerment or so-called black male empowerment. That's in a perfect world, but we know that we ain't gonna see no shit like that because they hate the black man. They only using the black woman. They hate the black woman too. They just using her because they know that she's more feeble-minded than the man. That's why the serpent came to Eve. The serpent did not come to the man, he came to Eve. Because the woman is more inclined to follow power or follow beguilement or be lustful for the eyes, lustful with her eyes in regards to what she sees, because the woman is a child. The woman just wants what she sees. She don't even understand if it's good for her or not. She just want to try it out. It's like a new fucking shirt. That's how these women take life. They take life as if it's just a thrill. It's a game. Girls just want to have fun. For the most part, I'm not saying all women. I'm just talking about the liberal, progressive woman that follows this society, that, aligns herself with the mores of this world. They're like chickens with their heads cut off because they don't understand their role in this world. They do not understand their role. That's how you know that they're feeble-minded, because someone has to lead them. Somebody has to teach them these things. They don't even know. A man can teach a woman more about herself than a woman can teach a woman about, women. That's just a fact. Because a man taps into that three-dimensional realm naturally. Now, if he's gifted from the Most High, then that can turn into a fourth dimension. Or that 3-dimension can be more stronger in regards to your ability to perceive and things of that nature. You feel what I'm saying? You have to contextualize everything. If you don't contextualize, you're not going to get the understanding. You're going to get a minimalistic understanding. You have to contextualize everything that you perceive. Everything. Every single thing. You got to ask, why is this that? Why is this connected to that? Why? You have to be inquisitive. That's the natural role. That's the nature of man. Inquisition, questioning things. The woman is just, okay, I'll go, I'll follow. You know, that's women. That's why they take the man out of the household. It's easier for them to indoctrinate the child because the woman just allows her child to be indoctrinated in the school system. There's but so much a woman can teach her child at the house alone. A man has to do that. That's why in these households, you see the cycle. Single parent households with just a mom, you see what happens with these young boys. And I'm not saying that, you know, they turn out to be unsuccessful or anything like that. I'm talking about the mentality, the lack of accountability, things of that nature. Those are intrinsic within a woman. A woman is quick to blame. Everything is revolved around her unless it has something to do with holding herself accountable. You know, for the most part, I'm not saying all the time, but for the most part, the woman blames. The woman doesn't look at herself and say, okay, you know what? This was my fault. I need to clean this shit up. You know, everything is all based off of, oh, this and that. The stupid ass decisions they make. You know, but that's just it is what it is, man. It's all about understanding these days. In these last days, they're going to overly promote this stuff. And it's going to just tell us that the Bible confirms itself, where it says that women shall be over us. Our kids should be over us in regards to the natural ways in which things are supposed to be. I'm not talking about literally. Obviously, if you have your household and you got it down packed, of course, you're over them. But I'm talking about in regards to the vibrations of this world, in which the forces are going to lean more towards the wicked. So therefore, the wicked is in favor. You know, favor fortunes the wicked in this society, not the righteous. The only favor that comes from or that gets imbued in the righteous comes from the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father gives the righteous favor. But when it comes to this carnal world, the favor is in the wicked. So everything that's carnal, when it comes to vanity and lust and things of that nature, things that we put on a pedestal, that's favored by the wicked. You get it? So that's why the women, they so prideful right now, because they lean towards wickedness. It's just a fact. They lean more towards wickedness. I'm not saying that a woman can't be righteous, but they lean more towards that. It tells you in the scriptures, in the book of Ecclesiastes, there's but little wickedness to the wickedness of a woman, meaning there's no wickedness like the wickedness of a woman. A woman will go to great lengths because she's so vindictive. She's so vindictive. A chick will bleach your goddamn clothes up. You know what I mean? Like, she'll do some crazy shit. Like, a chick a dead ass, like, if you sleeping, she'll probably cut your shit off. Like, chicks will do crazy shit like that. Believe it or not. And the Bible confirms it. Everything about the Bible is supposed to give you an outline of the nature of people, how the world is supposed to be, what the world was like back then, what the world is supposed to be like in the future, and what the chosen is supposed to do in regards to how they're supposed to act in accordance with what was the standard for them, the standard that was set for them, you know? So let's get some scriptures real quick. So this right here is the book of Isaiah 3:16. Now this is where the Most High is speaking of the daughters of Zion, the so-called black woman. And this was around the time where they had went off. So it says here, moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and menacing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. So I just wanted to bring that into it because it's just an understanding of what took place in regards to our history when our people went off and what the Most High did. And it also mentions the earrings and, you know, the jewelry and things of that nature. So our people, we did wear earrings, we did wear jewelry, things of that nature. And yes, the daughters of Zion are so-called black women. Okay, so we're on the blue letter. I just wanted to go into the definition of certain words here. Let's get haughty. All right, that's Strong's H1361. Let's get Hardy. See what this is going into. To be high, lofty, tall, to be exalted. Right, because these women in this time, they exalt themselves. You know what I mean? So that's what it means to be haughty. You know what I mean? Prideful, walking with your heads up high, things of that nature. So I just wanted to go over these scriptures here because it basically ties in to the theme of this video, which is revolved around the nature of the woman. You know, the woman being the recipient of trickery and being impressed upon, because for the most part, the woman is a receiver. That's why she has a vagina, that goes inward, because she's a receiver. So, you know, when you read Genesis chapter 3, when it comes to the whole Garden of Eden and her eating the fruit off the trees, so on and so forth, you know, the first verse you see here is, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Most High had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye should not eat of the tree of the garden. So the serpent, which was the spirit of beguilement, a person, wasn't an actual snake. It was a person who came to Eve. That's supposed to give off the understanding of the essence of the woman, in which, you know, it's easier for her to be beguiled. You know what I mean? Because she's feeble-minded. The woman is feeble-minded by nature. That's why it's easy for them to, you know, be on board with all these ideologies and these philosophies. When it comes to a culture that's established, as far as the leader, they're always gonna follow who's in power when it comes to that leadership. You feel what I'm saying? And they don't even understand that, but subconsciously they follow power. You know what I mean? And that can be in the form of just getting on board with an ideology that's been given from a certain head, passed down through the hierarchy. You get what I'm saying? It's not like it's directly, because you can say this to certain people and they'd be like, what you mean? Like, I don't follow none of this stuff. Yes, you do. You just don't understand that because it's not direct. It's subconscious and it's indirect. You get what I'm saying? So women, they follow this stuff indirectly for the most part. For the most part, they just on board with it. They know that it's evil, but women indirectly follow these things. Women are impressed upon easily because they're feeble-minded. Men are more likely to question things. You feel what I'm saying? That's why logic is more adjacent to the man, and, you know, emotionality and not applying that is more adjacent to the woman. It just is. It's just natural. It's just how the Most High created the genders. But in this world, in Satan's world, they try to make it seem as if those things aren't applied, when they are, because they show themselves when it comes to everyday life. It's just that we live in a Luciferian world where they try to take away that stuff and make it seem as if that's not here, when it is. Like, genders have roles. Women are more emotional than men. Women bleed 7 times every month. It's a reason for that. Men don't. So how the fuck are we equal? You know what I mean? The man's cerebral cortex is stronger than the man. It's stronger than the woman. It's just a fact. You know, it's not to say that you don't have women out here who are more mature or more smarter than men, because they are. But when it comes to nature, when it comes to essence, a man is more mature. A man is stronger. A man is more mentally aware when it comes to acuity. And that's just natural. Not to say that a woman isn't, but a man is more. A man is more on augmented when it comes to those aspects. And it just is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, in this world, when it comes to the people that control this world and the ideologies that they push, they exalt the woman because they know that the woman is easily impressionable. They know that the man is going to question things, so they don't want to exalt the man. Like, you don't have a Men's History Month. You get what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have all these laws that was passed for women to basically, you know, excel in civilization as far as the rights that was given to them, because you had the whole movement with women's rights and this and that. But before that, when women covered themselves up, you know, everything was more based in principle. Everything was more, you know, established as far as everything being more harmonious. You had successful marriages and things of that nature. But when you take the woman out of her natural role, you tell her that she has more power and that she can be free and liberated. She can undress herself, and now she can wear whatever she want to wear, tight pants, tight clothes, things of that nature. That's where there's chaos. because the woman gets out of her natural role. She gets into mischief because the woman, she loves what she sees. You feel what I'm saying? As far as like the lust for what she sees, she yearns for it. Everything that she sees, she wants, just like a kid. Just like what you saw with the rap battle. A woman is like a child. She is lustful with the eyes. You know what I mean? But just reading on, it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, ye should not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye should not surely die. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now, that's going into the understanding of basically consuming the knowledge from the tree, quote unquote tree, which was a human. The trees were were analogous to human beings. It was a parable for humans. They took on the teachings that was from the people, the left-hand teachings, and they became known as gods, meaning they became enlightened. And that's why when it comes to these modern day pagan gods, most of them go back to the antediluvian forebears and post-diluvian forebears, meaning the people that were before the flood and the people that survived after the flood. And before the flood, you have Eve, you had Adam, you had Methuselah, so on and so forth. The people that came from Adam, the descendants of Adam, so on and so forth. So these people were known as gods. Like Eve, I believe, she was known as Athena when it comes to the mythology, and other goddess figures as well as Adam, so on and so forth. But just reading on, it says, for the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, meaning the woman was lustful. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was pleasant to the eyes. She saw it, and she saw that it was good. And that's what you see with these modern day women. You know what I mean? That's why it's hard for you to trust a woman. It just is, man. Because at the end of the day, man, they're not spiritual for the most part unless you teach them. They're just not. Their main inclination is not to be spiritual. They're carnal. The man's inclination is to be spiritual in some way or find some sort of, principle when it comes to what's right. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what a man's inclination is. In his right state, in his righteous state, in his functional state. A man wants purity and relaxation. A woman wants to have fun. She wants thrills and things of that nature. And that's Pandora's box. That's Pandora's box. Eve, listening to the serpent, she opened up the door for mischief and sin. Pandora's box, the jack in the box, so on and so forth. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. She taught him what she was taught by the serpent, by the teachings of the left hand. And they consumed the left hand knowledge. You have right hand knowledge and you have left hand knowledge. Adam and Eve consumed the left hand knowledge, and that's why they fell. And the eyes of them were both open. And they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. They knew what they did was wrong. They were ashamed. So they tried to hide amongst the other nations in the garden, the other nations as far as the colored people, because it was people of color. And they heard the voice of the Lord power walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Now, this isn't speaking of the Most High in regards to him actually literally walking in the garden. You have to put things in proper context. Most likely there was people, as far as like people or prophets, speaking through the Heavenly Father. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? Now notice that the Most High calls Adam. He doesn't call Eve. He calls Adam because the man is the head. The man is the head. In this world, in this modern day time, they're trying to exalt the woman because it's prophesied. It tells you that these women shall be over us. They should be haughty, walking with their heads up high, being prideful. And that's these women today. That's why, with me, when it comes to my encounters with them, it's like a vexation of spirit, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some sort of attitude from them. You're going to get some sort of narcissism from them as far as them wanting to exalt themselves and set themselves up high. They're self-centered by nature because they have a genitalia that goes inward. So everything about them is all about them. It's revolved around them. Me, 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 me. That's the woman. Until they have a child and they understand that, no, not everything is revolved around you, because your nature is based in you loving your child. You love like the woman, she gets like self-validation, believe it or not, through her child. She don't understand that, but the woman gets self-validation as far as like what makes her, or, you know, what she's looking for in regards to completion. You feel what I'm saying? What completes her is a child, a good husband and a good child. Being a wife and a mother is what makes a woman, not competing against men. Like I was watching this little show on NBA TV where they was covering this woman. I think it was like this first white woman who was on the team in the WNBA or something like that. Something to that degree. I wasn't really like paying attention to it, but I just noticed her saying that when she first started playing, it was something that was new to people because they couldn't imagine her doing something that a man did. And it just reminds you that everything that these women do for the most part is based off of what a man does. They're like children, bro. They really are. It's like, oh, a man do it, so I want to do it too. You get what I'm saying? It's like, why can't you just try to be, why can't you allow yourself to be a woman? Like, why can't they teach these women to be a woman? In this world, they don't do that. They don't teach these women how to be, you know, women when it comes to femininity and things of that nature, how to respect oneself. In this world, they teach women to be whores. That's what they do. They teach women to be whores, to be self-worshippers, and to basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, to be whores and self-worshippers. That's this world, man, with these women, to be a whore and a self-worshipper and to compete against a man. That's the three things that they teach these women in this world. And I'm not saying that you don't have any good women out here, but the reason why I'm harping on this is because the woman is like a child. So the woman's mind is going to go towards the mischief. It's going to go towards what she thinks is good for her in regards to a thrill or what have you. Like she's not going to lean towards something that's based in what's substantive or, you know, what's civil for the most part. She's going to lean towards the chaotic aspect. You know what I mean? That's just their nature. Like, and the reason why a woman is supposed to be with one man is because, like I said, the woman has a pussy. She has a genitalia. They may not believe this, but the woman, you know, when she has sex with a man penetrates her, things of that nature. His spirit is inside of her. That's why they be wilding out. That's why the Most High, you know, stipulated that a woman be with one man. It's the reason why these things are. And women, they just think, oh, that's not right. Oh, you policing me and things of that nature. No, you just don't even understand you. A man, like a real man, a real functional man understands women more than they understand their goddamn self. They're like chickens with their heads cut off. You gotta moderate them. You gotta tell them what's right for them. And I can tell you this because I can attest to it, man. I'm telling you. Shout out to the mother of my incoming child, man. You know what I mean? But let me read up on this more. Where were we? And it says, and he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? No, let's read up. And it said, and the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord power said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all thy cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So I just wanted to go over the scripture in 1 Timothy, 2nd chapter. So let's just go over it in verse 5, where it says, for there is one power and one mediator between the Most High and men, that man Yahushua HaMashiach, who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time, whereunto I am ordained a preacher and an apostle I speak the truth in Yahushua and lie not, a teacher of the Gentiles in faith and verity. I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands, without wrath and doubting. And like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So when it comes to everything that's supposed to be established as far as righteousness and what's right, as far as like the principles and things of that nature, and like how things are supposed to be, it's inverted in this time. And what gives you a sense of closure with it is the fact that you understand it's due to prophecy. So that makes you feel better about it. Like, okay, this is not just happening just to be happening. You know that this is happening because it was written, you know? So it says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived. Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. So Eve opened the door for sin. But the reason why Adam fell was because he, being the head, he didn't hold himself accountable, nor did he chastise the woman. So that's why you fall. That's why the positions of the roles when it comes to men and women, the man is supposed to be the head, the functional man. But in this world, everything is just all imbalanced, man. Everything. Every fucking thing. Excuse my language, man. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and loneliness with sobriety. Right, man, because the understanding of the action that took place is what led to Eve and women of all, you know, they got to go through pain when it comes to them delivering birth because of that action, believe it or not.